그거는 뭐였냐면 그 위스키를 언제 처음 마셔봤냐면 친구랑 둘이서.
Hello everyone, welcome back to JIKOOK Diaries channel. November came with a strange chill. Not only because autumn in Seoul was beginning to embrace the city with its chilly breeze, but because the fandom was suddenly filled with a big question. Where's JIKOOK? Why does every moment that should have made ARMY smile seem to disappear so quickly? It's as if an invisible hand is trying to cover up something that's too obvious to hide. Jimin and Jungkook. Two names that, when put together, create a storm of discussion, theories, and endless love among fans. For years, their closeness has never ceased to be a hot topic. And precisely because of that, their every little move is always scrutinized. This November, something is different. Too many moments are missing. Too many coincidences that no longer feel like coincidences. So, are they censoring JIKOOK's moments? Or is it just us being overly sensitive? Let's take a few steps back. Even before November arrived, fans had frequently noticed that some of Jungkook's captured interactions were suddenly missing from the final versions of official content. This has become more frequent lately. Moments where Jungkook glances at Jimin for too long, or Jimin stands a little too close to Jungkook are cut. Moments where they share a laugh that only they understand are blurred. Even their too close seating positions are moved. And now, November brings even bigger questions. Fans saw Jungkook walking alone in Seoul, the video went viral, and guess what? Many immediately connected it to Jimin. Why? Because moments like that don't usually exist in isolation. Jimin was also seen in places with similar vibes, on almost the same days. Are they together? Are they trying to avoid the spotlight? Or are they being separated by design? We can't forget how, in the past, whenever Jimin and Jungkook were in the same frame, the fandom's reaction was immediate. But lately, those frames seem to be intentionally removed. There are rumors that the editing team was specifically asked to maintain visual distance between the two. Was this a company directive? Or simply to maintain a certain narrative in the public eye? No one can answer for sure, but the pattern is too striking to ignore. Throwback to the past, to the Run BTS era and behind-the-scenes footage of their albums. There are many sweet moments that ARMYs feel suddenly cut short. A look that should have lasted a few seconds longer. Hands that almost touched but were abruptly changed by the camera angle. Even the live shows Jimin and Jungkook did together now feel like something impossible to do again. Not because they don't want to, but because there feels like an invisible barrier between them. Meanwhile, offstage, rumors continue to grow. Jimin suddenly disappeared from the public radar some time ago, and Jungkook suddenly performed late-night live shows with a mood that wasn't entirely open. When ARMY asked, "Is Jimin with you?" Jungkook just smiled slightly, changed the subject, and focused on the music. It was suspiciously cute and suspiciously intentional. Then, whenever they were in the same place, there were always small indicators that appeared. The same colored hoodies, accessories that looked similar, places they had visited together in the past. It's all a puzzle left unraveling for ARMY. It's not information given directly, but it's not something completely hidden either. They leave breadcrumbs, enough to notice, but not enough to confirm. Even their individual content often feels like it echoes each other. Jimin releases something, and Jungkook soon updates. Jimin chooses a particular song, and Jungkook suddenly sings a song with a similar atmosphere. There's an emotional resonance there. Is it coincidence? Or are they speaking to each other through music because the camera is no longer a safe space? ARMY isn't a blind fandom. We've followed the journeys of these 7 boys for years. We know when something feels normal and when something feels controlled. JIKOOK has always had a dynamic that's hard to describe in words. They're not just friends. They're not just members working together. There's a sense of warmth, a sense of mutual care, and a sense of concern that can never be fully hidden. That's why every time JIKOOK's moments suddenly disappear from official content, the fandom doesn't stay silent. Fans began re-archiving, resharing the original, unedited versions, and analyzing every second of it. Even if a clip was only 3 seconds long and deleted, ARMY would always have a copy. Because for us, it's more than just an interaction. It was a trivial matter. It was proof that their connection was real.
위스키를 처음 마셨던 순간을 말씀드리고 싶지만 어차피 이건 TMI가 생방 때 얘기하도록 하겠습니다.
And now, November has made things even more intense. The return of individual activities, comebacks on different paths, and their absence from the same platform have the fandom wondering. Is someone trying to create distance? Is their interaction deemed too dangerous for their public image? Or is the company simply wanting to give them space so that the narrative around them no longer steals attention from their respective major projects? However, beneath it all, one thing is undeniable. Even when they rarely appear together, the JIKOOK vibe remains. Fans continue to find small symbols that connect them. The same necklace, a cat that becomes a shared topic, lyrics that seem to answer each other, posts that seem timed in a way that seems related. No matter how much they try to hide something, genuine love always finds a way to emerge. Jimin and Jungkook may no longer be able to openly display their closeness as they once did. But does that mean they've drifted apart? Absolutely not. If they were truly drifting apart, the timing of their moments wouldn't be this perfect. Army asks, "Are you sure it's November?" Because the atmosphere is all too familiar with the past. The times when JIKOOK was allowed to disappear, only to return with an even bigger surprise. Perhaps this is indeed their quiet time. A time when their precious relationship is protected from the spotlight that could change everything. A time when the camera is no longer a witness, but their hearts remain locked. So, are they being censored? Or is this just a phase before something sweeter happens? We may not have all the answers right now, but ARMY always knows how to nurture hope. Because no matter how far the camera tries to create boundaries, the connection between two hearts can never be cut off by editing. November is just a month on the calendar. But for JIKOOK, this could be a prologue. A prologue to a story that has long lived between the glances they hide, the smiles only they understand, and the steps that continue to lead to the same place even though the world tries to separate them. And when the world finally sees the truth without the censorship, ARMY will be the first to say, "We knew it. We saw it. We believed in it from the beginning." And those are all the theories, signs, and little miracles that make us ask ourselves again. Is it true that JIKOOK's moment is being censored? Or are they actually plotting something bigger to come back to us? Whatever the answer, one thing is for sure. ARMYs always watch with their hearts. If you feel the same way, don't forget to leave a comment below. Share your theories, evidence you found, or just words of love for Jimin and Jungkook. Also, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and activate notifications so you don't miss the latest updates from our emotional journey on the JIKOOK Diaries channel. Thank you for watching and always maintaining this love with patience. See you again in the next video. Stay tuned, stay curious, and remember, we saw it. We believe it, because JIKOOK is always more than what they show.